The Secret Sauce of Sales Success, Module 3, Sales Development, brought to you by Constructum Consulting. In this presentation, I introduce you to the third and last of 3 modules in this program, namely Sales Development. Module 1 is foundational and comprised of 5 parts. Map out the sales process. Derive a sales funnel made up of sales activities. Decide on the composition of your sales team. Build a profile of the right salesperson for your business, and assess the financial viability of your sales scheme. In Module 2, we build on the conclusions reached previously, and more specifically on the profile of the ideal salesperson developed during Module 1. Module 2 consists of 3 parts: key recruitment and selection principles, mapping out your recruitment and selection process, and structuring sales remuneration. Module 3, Sales Development, is all about getting a high-performance sales culture. You know you've achieved this objective when you see evidence of the following. Focus. A sales team focused on the right target market, focused on delivering a solution to the customer's problem, and a team focused on achieving its sales targets. Activities. You see evidence of high volumes of quality sales activities. Pipeline. Your sales team consistently delivers a pipeline of new business. And results. Individual team members and the sales team as a whole hitting their sales numbers. To develop the sales capacity of your business, you need to apply management disciplines to drive sales activities. Effectively use sales tools, including an integrated client relationship management system, to monitor and measure sales performance. Equip your sales team with a properly designed people development program, and reward and recognize sales performance. Earlier in this program, I explained that you cannot manage sales outcomes. What you can and must do is to manage sales activities. To be effective, you must set a standard. Minimum activity targets per salesperson. You can only accomplish this if you have defined sales activities. I recommend that you choose at most 3 or 4 sales activities from the sales funnel with which to set activity targets. Identify activities that are easily measurable. For instance, prospecting. Identify a prospective customer, obtain relevant information, which may include the name of the decision maker, title and contact information, and load the data into the CRM system. Contacting. Make a telephone call to the decision maker and record the outcome of the conversation, which may include the prospect declines, the prospect asks for a callback or a follow-up, or a meeting is scheduled. Present a solution with its outcome, which may include the prospect saying no, the prospect asking for a callback or a follow-up later, or a deal is closed. Lastly, sale closed and customer signing the contract. You are then able to set activity targets. For instance, identify 80 prospects, make 20 calls, present 5 pitches, and close 1 sale. Salespeople are easily distracted and prone to seek the path of least resistance. which can compromise the sales process and negatively impact the business. By keeping a clear focus on sales activities and consistently enforcing activity standards, you not only protect the business, but also ensure that the sales team keep the pipeline of new business flowing. Measuring and monitoring sales activities against sales targets not only maintains focus in the team, but also allow you to better manage your business's sales capacity. Sales ratios are a key metric of sales performance. Let's say you initially estimated that a competent salesperson needs to identify 80 prospects to make one sale. If you find that the team on average needs to identify closer to 120 prospects to deliver one sale, then you need to consider the following. Was your initial estimation incorrect? Is this a competency issue within your team? Perhaps you need to train your team to better identify and qualify prospects. Is this a marketing issue? Are you promoting your product to the target market effectively? There is no shame in admitting that your initial estimation was incorrect. In fact, it is realistic to expect that you will need to make adjustments. You cannot possibly manage sales activities without an integrated client relationship management system. Software developers offer bolt-on, ready-made CRM systems that can be integrated with your current bookkeeping or accounting software and at relatively low cost. By using your CRM system, you can monitor and measure sales activities, evaluate sales ratios, track your new business pipeline, and keep up-to-date information about existing and prospective customers. Additionally, you can develop sales tools to support the team, including marketing collateral, such as leaflets, brochures, etc., a physical or electronic toolkit to demonstrate your product or service, tools to assess customer needs, a smartphone, tablet, or laptop-based quoting system that can be integrated with the rest of the business's systems. Tools streamline the sales process, takes admin away from salespeople, and helps maintain the quality of sales activities. In Module 2, I introduced a basic recruitment and selection process that ended with onboarding. Onboarding or vesting is the bridge between Module 2 and 3. You've done a great deal of work and applied much effort to map out the sales process, from which you derived a sales funnel of measurable sales activities. This allowed you to estimate the capacity need of your sales team and develop a profile of the ideal candidate. Thereafter, you mapped out a recruitment and selection process with an appropriately structured sales remuneration package with which to attract and retain candidates. After all this work, you owe it to yourself to make every effort to properly vest new candidates. Vesting or onboarding is about getting the salesperson up to speed. Start by clearly communicating the sales target and activity targets. Explain how and when the salesperson will be required to give an account of their activities. You ought to have a weekly sales meeting to keep tabs on the sales team's progress. Also, you may need to train new recruits on the use of the CRM system. Use your mapped out sales process as a template for developing a training program. Your training program must address the following type of issues. What is the business's strategy? The target market. How will the salesperson qualify a prospect? Do you have a set of qualifying criteria? What methods of contacting are the salesperson to use? Do you have rules about the channels of communication used? Show the salesperson how to assess the customer's need. Demonstrate the use of any sales tools that you have developed for this purpose. List the most common objections customers raise when you present your solution and demonstrate, preferably in a role play, how you overcome objections. What after-sales service is the salesperson required to perform? Clearly communicate your expectations. In addition, you may decide that other forms of training are required, which may include topics such as telephone etiquette or presentation skills. Lastly, we come to rewards and recognition. Great sales leaders understand that you manage sales activities but reward and recognize sales performance. Rewards for achieving targets are essentially monetary, whereas recognition is broader in both context and application. Here you must be careful that monetary rewards drive the desired behavior in the long run. There's a famous story about snakes in colonial era India, where the British offered peasants money for dead snakes. Instead of the scheme getting rid of the snakes, the peasants started breeding snakes to kill and offer for rewards. Poorly thought out incentives can be counterproductive. When you start out with a new sales team, no one member has achieved the sales targets. To maintain momentum, especially if you have a prolonged sales duration, you must focus on activities. Recognize team members who consistently achieve their activity targets. If you properly mapped out the sales process from which you derive the sales funnel, then sales activities will translate into sales results. That concludes Model 3 of this 3-part program. To view the entire program, visit Constructum Online Learning on YouTube. Thank you for watching and all the best with your business.